You are awake, but your mind is already on an ancient battlefield. The scars of past decisions, the what-ifs echoing from lost opportunities, or even the faded glow of glories that no longer exist, trap you in an endless cycle. What if I told you that true freedom to build an unshakable future isn't about erasing what has been, but about rewriting your relationship with time itself? It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. This timeless observation from Seneca resonates deeply. In a world where the human mind often lives more in the past or the future, many of us, without realizing it, drag an invisible weight, the burden of events already concluded, which, like anchors, prevent us from sailing. Whether it's the pain of a broken relationship, the regret over a misguided career choice, or the paralyzing nostalgia for good old days that are long gone, this fixation on the unchangeable prevents us from embracing the now and actively shaping the tomorrow we desire. It's like trying to run a marathon while looking backward, stumbling with every step forward. In this video, we will uncover 5 pillars of Stoic wisdom. Our goal is not to erase what was, but to build an unshakable foundation in the present and a future designed by you, free from yesterday's chains. Prepare for a journey of self-discovery that will redefine your relationship with time and with yourself, transforming what felt like a burden into a compass. If you are ready to break free from this invisible chain, comment "freedom" below. Let's free your mind together. Do you spend more time fighting ghosts of the past than building your kingdom in the present? This battle, my friend, is a war you've already lost before it even began. Many of us operate under the dangerous illusion that by exhaustively reliving every detail of the past, every word said, every opportunity missed, every failure, we can somehow alter its impact or even rewrite its course. You believe this rumination is an act of self-awareness or prudence, but in reality, it becomes a vicious cycle of self-flagellation, guilt, or a nostalgia so sweet it turns to poison. You've been doing this by incessantly blaming yourself for a financial decision from years ago, by idealizing a love that no longer exists, or by feeling like a perpetual victim of circumstances that, today, are completely beyond your control. This fixation is an anchor that prevents your boat from sailing. Amidst the chaos of an empire, the philosopher-emperor Marcus Aurelius recorded in his Meditations the wisdom of accepting what cannot be changed. He, who carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, knew that the energy wasted in resisting reality was a luxury no one could afford. He reminds us, accept what cannot be changed. This is not a declaration of passivity, but the essence of amor fati, the love of your fate, the active and vigorous acceptance of everything that has happened, not as something you tolerate, but as something you embrace as an integral part of your journey. The past, he knew, is immutable. Wishing things were different is a rebellion against the very nature of existence, and a waste of your most precious resource, the present. True strength lies in recognizing this boundary and focusing only on what is under our control. Here's how to apply this today. Practice releasing the stone. When you find yourself being pulled back to a past event, pause for an instant. Close your eyes and visualize the situation as a heavy stone you are carrying uphill, sweating and exhausted. Ask yourself, aloud if possible, can I change this event now, at this very moment? Feel the futility of the question, the obviousness of the no answer. Then, with a deep sigh, visualize yourself letting go of the stone. Let it roll away. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Instead of fighting to move it, direct your attention and energy to a present action you can control. For example, if you regret being unfair in an old argument, don't try to rewrite that dialogue, but practice empathy and active listening in your next interaction. If you lament a lost career opportunity, focus on honing a skill today that will open doors to new and better opportunities. When you master the art of accepting the unalterable, you will feel immense relief, as if invisible shackles have come undone. The energy that was once drained by resistance and rumination will be released, allowing you to invest it fully in the present and in building a more solid future, free from paralyzing guilt and regret. You will no longer be a hostage to what-ifs, but an active agent of your own reality, a sculptor of your now. But accepting the unchangeable is just the first crucial step towards your freedom. This leads us to something even more powerful, the art of discerning where your energy truly should be invested, so you don't fight lost battles. Are you investing your most valuable energy where it can truly bear fruit, or are you wasting it in labyrinths of worry you can never unravel? It's almost a human reflex to excessively worry about what other people think of us, with events that escaped our control in the past, or with future outcomes that are, by nature, uncertain. You believe that by worrying, you are somehow preparing or exerting control, but in truth, you are only depleting your mind, your emotions, and your capacity to act. You've been doing this by consuming yourself with an ex-colleague's opinion about an old project, by trying to predict every twist and turn of the financial market, or by becoming deeply frustrated by a lack of recognition for an effort you made. This excessive worry about the uncontrollable is a silent drain on your vitality, diverting you from effective and empowering action. Epictetus, a former slave who ascended to become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, bequeathed to us the dichotomy of control as a fundamental pillar of peace of mind. In his Enchiridion, he states with crystal clarity, "Some things are within our control, and others are not. Our thoughts, our judgments, our desires, our aversions, these are under our absolute dominion. But our body, our reputation, the actions of others, what has already happened, these are not. The past, in particular, is the realm of the uncontrollable par excellence." Stoic wisdom invites us to sharply discern this distinction and, more importantly, to focus our energy only on what we can influence in the present and for the future, abandoning the futile attempt to control the uncontrollable. Here's how to apply this today. Create the control map. When a concern, especially one linked to the past, arises in your mind, write it down. Next to that concern, draw two imaginary circles, a circle of influence, what you can control, and a circle of concern, what you cannot. Ask yourself, does this concern belong in which circle now? If the answer is circle of concern, cross it out with conviction and redirect your attention and energy to something that is within your control inside your circle of influence. For example, if you worry about how an old partner perceives you after a breakup, recognize that this perception is outside your control and, instead, focus on improving your communication and self-awareness for your current relationships. If a past mistake haunts your mind, don't try to control it, but rather control your response to it. Learn from it and apply the lesson in your current and future actions, always moving within your circle of influence. By mastering the dichotomy of control, you will experience surprising mental clarity. Anxiety about the past and future will drastically decrease, and you will feel more empowered, as your energy will be channeled into meaningful actions that can truly shape your present reality and build a future more aligned with your values. Your mind will become a lighthouse, not a storm. Understanding where to focus your energy is, without a doubt, a game changer. But what good is all this clarity if you're not present to use it? Now, the next principle will challenge everything you think you know about time and its true possession. Like if you are applying this in your life now. How many moments of genuine joy, how many opportunities for growth, and how many promising futures are you letting slip through your fingers today by being mentally trapped in pasts that no longer exist and will never return? It is a dangerously common behavior to allow the mind to incessantly wander between yesterday's memories and tomorrow's projections, rarely anchored in the now. You believe that reliving the past is an essential memory exercise, or that obsessively planning the future is the essence of prudence, but often this wandering prevents you from fully and consciously experiencing the present moment. You've been doing this by eating without savoring the meal, by talking to someone without truly listening, by working on an important task with your mind constantly elsewhere. This disconnection from the present is the root of chronic dissatisfaction and the distressing feeling that life is passing by quickly without truly lived. Seneca, the shrewd philosopher and advisor to emperors, in his letters to Lucilius, launched a scathing critique of the waste of time. He warns, life is long enough if we know how to use it. For the Stoics, the present is the only time we truly possess, the only stage where virtue can be practiced and human agency can be exercised. The past is already sealed, untouchable. The future is a veil of uncertainties. Virtue and happiness are not found in passive contemplation, but in the application of reason and right action at this very moment. Ignoring the present is ignoring life itself, the only opportunity to exercise our freedom and shape our character. Here's how to apply this today. Practice sensory anchoring. Choose 3 moments of your day to consciously pause and focus on your 5 senses for a full minute. For example, when having your breakfast, feel the warmth of the cup in your hands, the complex aroma emanating, the taste exploding in your mouth, the soft sounds around you. When walking, feel the texture of the ground beneath your feet. Observe the colors and shapes around you. Listen to the sounds of the city or nature. When conversing, listen attentively to every word, every inflection in the voice, without formulating the next response in your mind. If your mind wanders to the past or future, gently bring it back to the here and now, like a muscle you train with patience and persistence. The goal is not to eliminate thoughts about the past or to allow them to dominate you and pull you away from your sole point of power, the present. When you reconnect with the present, your life will become exponentially richer, more vivid, and more meaningful. You will feel a deeper gratitude for the small miracles of everyday life. Your concentration at work and in relationships will drastically improve, and you will make clearer, more aligned decisions. The feeling of wasting time will be replaced by a profound presence, allowing you to build your future with every moment fully lived, with every brick laid on the firm ground of the now. Living in the now is indeed liberating. But what about those mistakes that still weigh on your conscience, the failures that seem to follow you? Don't worry, because the next point will transform your greatest regrets into your greatest teachers, revealing the alchemy of failure. Your biggest past mistakes can be your greatest teachers and guides for the future. Or do you prefer them to be your eternal tormentors, whispering guilt and insecurities? Many people see regret as a purely negative emotion, a heavy burden to carry for the rest of your life. You think that feeling bad about what you did is a necessary form of penance, or that guilt is a sign of responsibility. But this prolonged and sterile guilt does not generate growth. It only cultivates stagnation. You've been doing this by clinging to old failures, reliving them repeatedly in your mind, allowing them to undermine your self-confidence and prevent you from trying something new, from taking risks, from living fully. This fixation on error without extracting the lesson prevents you from turning trash into gold, from using these valuable experiences to propel yourself forward. Seneca, with his characteristic sagacity, teaches us that there is no favorable wind for the sailor who does not know where he is going. And how can we know where to go if we don't learn from past storms? Stoic philosophy, far from being passive, encourages deep reflection and continuous learning. The practice of premeditatio malorum, for example, is not about lamenting, but about mentally preparing for future adversities, often learning from what has already happened. The past, with its errors and stumbles, is a vast repository of data, a goldmine of wisdom. Ignoring it, or just blaming yourself, is wasting an invaluable source of knowledge to guide your future actions, to calibrate your internal compass. Here's how to apply this today. Adopt the Stoic Alchemist's Journal. Instead of reliving the error with guilt, write about it, but with a radically different perspective. Divide a page into 3 columns: the past event, what I learned from it, and how I will apply this lesson today in the future. Ask yourself, what did this event teach me about myself, about others, or about the nature of the world? What positive and constructive action can I take today or in the future based on this lesson? For example, if you regret being overly reactive in a relationship, the lesson might be the crucial need to pause before responding and to practice empathy. The practical action would be, in your current interactions, to practice active listening for 5 extra seconds before formulating your response. Transform the paralyzing emotion of guilt into a concrete and empowering action plan. When you transform regret into learning, the past will cease to be a heavy chain and will become a precise compass. Every failure, every stumble, every mistake will be seen not as a humiliating end, but as an essential step in your journey of personal growth and mastery. You will develop remarkable resilience, knowing that you can extract wisdom and strength from any experience, strengthening your ability to build a future that is more conscious, wiser, and undeniably more successful. Transforming regret into learning is a superpower few master. But what do we do with all this newly acquired wisdom? The last principle shows us how to channel all of it to actively build the extraordinary life we deserve, one brick at a time. Are you passively waiting for the future of your dreams to come to you by chance? Or are you actively building it brick by brick with your choices and actions in the present? It is dangerously easy to fall into the trap of dreaming of a better future, of nurturing grand hopes and desires, without taking the concrete and necessary actions in the present to build it. You believe that hope alone, or mere desire, are sufficient to manifest the reality you aspire to. But without discipline, daily effort, and consistent execution, they become empty, mere fantasies. You've been doing this by repeatedly postponing important tasks, by procrastinating difficult decisions that could change the game, or by waiting for a big opportunity that never arrives, while time, your most valuable resource, slips through your fingers. This passivity, often disguised as optimism, is one of the greatest saboteurs of your potential and the building of your legacy. The emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offers us a maxim that cuts like a sword. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, the unshakable emphasis on action, on the practical application of virtue. The future, for the Stoics, is not something that simply happens. It is forged, molded, and built by our choices and actions in the present. It is not enough to contemplate an ideal future or wish for a better life. One must act virtuously, with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance every day, every hour, to pave the way. True hope, Stoic hope, does not reside in passive expectation, but in deliberate action and consistent effort. Here's how to apply this today. Implement the first brick rule. Dedicate the first hour of your day, or a non-negotiable block of time, to a concrete action, however small, that brings you closer to the future you wish to build. It could be learning a new relevant skill, working on a personal project you always postpone, or strengthening a significant relationship. Break your big goals into small but powerful daily actions and commit to them with the discipline of a craftsman. For example, if your goal is to have greater financial resilience, start with 5 minutes of budget planning, reviewing your expenses. If it's to improve an important relationship, send a genuine message of connection, not just an empty reply. Do something. Don't just plan, hope, or dream. Every first brick is an act of faith in your future, built in the present. When you become an active builder of your future, inertia and procrastination will dissipate like mist in the sun. You will feel a renewed sense of purpose, inexhaustible energy, and unshakable confidence. For every present action will be a solid brick in the foundation of the life you are deliberately creating. You will become the architect of your own destiny, the engineer of your reality, not a mere spectator at the mercy of the waves of time. Chegamos ao fim de uma jornada que, espero, tenha plantado sementes de uma transformação profunda em você. Recapitulemos os 5 pilares que desvendamos juntos, cada um uma chave para a sua liberdade e para a construção de um futuro inabalável. We have reached the end of a journey that I hope has planted seeds of profound transformation within you. Let's recap the 5 pillars we've uncovered together, each a key to your freedom and to building an unshakable future. We began with the crucial need to accept what cannot be changed, freeing ourselves from the invisible chains of the past and the burden of useless resistance. Next, we learned to focus on the circle of influence, directing our precious energy where it truly matters, abandoning sterile worries. We delved into the art of living in the present, the only time we truly possess, anchoring ourselves in the reality and fullness of each moment. Then we saw how to transform regret into learning, converting failures and mistakes into valuable lessons and a compass for tomorrow. And finally, we understood the importance of building the future with actions, not with empty hopes, becoming active architects of our own destiny. You are no longer the individual paralyzed by the shadows of what once was, dragging the burden of yesterdays that cannot be altered. You are no longer a hostage to guilt, to what-ifs, or to unproductive nostalgia that drains your vitality. The person you are becoming is someone who understands the impermanence of time, who acts with purpose and discernment, who extracts wisdom from every experience, good or bad, and who builds their path with unshakable resilience, a master of their own time. This is not an easy journey, nor a final destination, but a daily practice, a constant choice. The freedom from the past and the building of a stable and resilient future are, with every sunrise, within your reach. It's time to take the reins. If this video resonated with you, if it ignited a spark of change and clarity in your mind, I ask you, like this video so that this message of freedom and empowerment can reach more hearts and minds that need it. Comment below which of the 5 principles you will apply first in your life. Share your story, your reflections. Your experience inspires and strengthens our community. Share this content with someone you know is struggling to let go of the past. Someone who needs to hear this message of hope and action. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next steps of this Stoic journey. Together, we will continue to explore ancient wisdom for a life of purpose, resilience, and meaning. Remember, the past is a lesson, the future is a blank canvas, but the present is your brush. Paint your masterpiece today.